Hello. Um, don't know if this is working because it's not giving me any sound or anything. Can someone thumbs up if you can hear me? Because there's no sound volume. Oh, that's better. Cool. Right. I'm doing this on my own tonight, and StreamYard let me know about 10 minutes ago that they can connect to YouTube. So I've had to cancel all that and just do it direct onto here. So bear with me, please. It's like starting again. It's like doing it really new. So the settings on it, I don't even know where the settings are. I don't even know if it's got any, to be honest with you. So hello everyone. I'm not going to be doing much typing. Obviously, there's no intro, there's no break, and there's no outro. They'll have to be added once I've put it all back. I'll have to edit it and put it back on there. It's the only way of doing it. Yeah. So Deb's not with us because she has. I think she's got COVID, but she's got really bad cold and that. She's sniffing and coughing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you've just got me. So if you start going, then I wouldn't be surprised. Right. So there are two things that I'm going to be talking about. First one is regarding. Sorry, I just put my fan on. It's quite warm now. Birdhead. That's a steampunk. So it's like the plague mask. Plague Doctor mask, even. It's actually got a name, but I can't see it. Automation. I can't read that. Automation apothecary or something. So that's it. Right. Anyway, so didn't get a chance to do it today, but tomorrow I've been put in contact with somebody who had a sighting in 2009 at Highgate Cemetery. So I'm going to be giving him a call tomorrow and chatting with him about that. I was going to do it today, but so it's dead busy in work. Busy when I got in, just non-stop. So made time tomorrow. Yeah, that's what Joe said. So I'm going to be talking to him about that. But he's put something that he saw in 2009 at Highgate Cemetery changed his opinion on paranormal things. So until I've spoken to him proper, then I'm not going to release a name. I probably won't release his name anyway, but I'm going to be doing an interview with him. Now, I've been listening to a couple of podcasts today and pretty much about the Hat Man and Shadow People. Now, this is very strange because it just changes the way the knowledge of it. There's a few things on there that I didn't even know it was about. So we'll start at the beginning. Sorry. So I didn't know, but the Hat Man started in I think it was like around about the 80s, and it was more like a creepypasta. It is actually used in an advert for kids' cough medicine to help them take it so that they go to sleep. But then I was listening to some more. When Wes Craven did Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't know if anyone else seen that, but an orb just went straight across the top of my head. Strange. Anyway, so Wes Craven, he had a bit of an encounter when he was, I think he was about 5 or 6. He was in his going to sleep at night, and he did something at the foot of his bed, and he shouted his older brother to come and help get rid of it, and it proper freaked him out. So that's where he got the idea from. And if you look at and Freddy Krueger was a bully at his school or something like that. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments as well. Try not to get too distracted. So that's why Freddy Krueger wears a Ferrador, same as a Hat Man, because it's pretty much based on the same thing, which I never knew till today. And he's always these two main descriptions of him is at least 6 foot tall. Some people even say he's about, I think it's 8 foot tall. So either faceless features or featureless, however you would call it, or with red eyes. But it was reported like in the early 1980s there is a thing called ADS, which was Asian death syndrome or Asian dying syndrome. So there's a lot of young lads of like the Philippines area, like Vietnam around there, that all fit and healthy, all sporting, that kind of stuff, not going out drinking and smoking and everything, and they go to sleep and they die in the sleep. And I'd say like late teens, early 20s, and there's a big spate of them. I think there's about 10 over about 5-6 year period. Anyway, there's one family, they moved to America, and their son, he wouldn't go to sleep. He made himself stay awake. He was so scared of going to sleep. He said, if he goes to sleep, what the thing that's in his dream that's chasing him will catch him and kill him. Anyway, he ended up falling asleep, and then his parents heard him screaming one night. They ran into the bedroom, and it's too late. He was already dead, and he'd actually died in his sleep. And there was no, all the doctors and that had no explanation for why this was happening. So, yep, that's pretty much the Hat Man, which some unknown stuff about it. Well, I didn't know about it. I don't know if any of you guys did. But also, what was the other thing? Joe, you'll have to remind me because I can't remember. Can you put it in the chat? Thank you. Anyone's got any questions? Send them away. Yeah, we were supposed to have Eric Mintle on tonight as well. He couldn't do it. He could for only for about half an hour, but he couldn't have done it anyway because I cannot. StreamYard will not connect to YouTube, so I've got to do it straight onto here. No other way of doing it. Ooh, true. You also have an apple in front of your face, so we can't see who you are. Even everyone that's just coming in. So just bear with me. All right. So with going back to the Highgate thing, we're hopefully going to be going there March, April, and fingers crossed, the guy that I'm going to be chatting to tomorrow, as long as he's available, I want him to come and meet up with us. So I just have to look at the other screen while I read this. So the thing with the Hat Man, a lot of people are saying that he's like the king or leader of shadow people. Apparently, he always has a couple of shadow people with him. So when he's not hovering over person sleeping, he employs strange 2 other common methods of viewing his prey: looking into the sleeper through the mirror or sitting and watching them from the corner of the room. Even though proximity would understandably cause the most fear, I find these 2 approaches almost more disconcerting. Are there sometimes otherworldly confines he's working with that force him to use a secondary source, the mirror, to watch his victims, or is it somehow amplifying his gaze? Is his malevolence so innate and casual that he sometimes doesn't even have to get up, preferring to take a load off in the corner? So could be that. But I heard today that there's one woman in America, I can't remember whereabouts, she had an encounter with him. She was pregnant. I don't know how true this is. It's quite difficult to believe. But apparently he removed the baby from inside her so that she could hold it, and then he put it back in before he left. So some saying that he's malevolent, some saying that he's not. But most people are saying that it's a fear factor, and that's what helps. That's what he feeds off. Apparently, there's another woman. I think there's in 1980s. She'd moved from Norwich over to Bristol. She was a teacher. I'm stealing this off another podcast. I don't care. And she'd moved over there for this job. I was renting a room in this 19th century building, and she'd gone to. This happened about 4 or 5 times, but she'd gone to bed one night. She felt him climb on top of her, and he was even kissed her on the lips, and just weird stuff like that. But yeah, she was very scared. She didn't like going out at night, and yeah, just weird stuff going on. But so, has any of you had any Hatman encounters? See, it could be the Hatman is a devil, Lucifer, someone like something like that. I'm not saying someone, or could it be? I don't know, King of the Shadow People. Sorry, I lost my thought then. It's Umbra's not making it easy for me tonight. All the comments he's putting in there. Yes, it's Mark Zuckerberg messing with my StreamYard. He knew it was coming on my own. He thought, nah, I'm gonna mess it up for him. But right, I just seen another orb just go across there. I don't know if anyone else picked up on it. This is quite creepy because it only happens around that bit. It's never at the bottom. Strange. Orb number 3, please. Right, I shall. Okay, I've got it to hand. Right, I'll just start. I'm just going to talk as normal and just leave it recording, see if it picks anything up. Right, as you can see, somehow it's recording, so just going to leave it in front of me on there. Yeah, it's not a new phenomena. Like I said, with the Hammer, it kind of started off as like a creepypasta. So it is very strange. It's not a new phenomena. For about as long as written records have existed, people have described a frightening nighttime vision that paralyzes them with fear and seems to suck the breath out of them. That's what it was doing. When it climbed on that woman, she said she felt like she was having the life sucked out of her. And she felt it draining, and then she was struggling to breathe. Then all of a sudden, it just vanished, and it weren't there. And then she managed to get her breath back, but she said it actually felt like she was going to die. What was it up to? Seems to suck breath right out of them, often by pressing directly upon their chest. The entity has stalked human beings throughout history, not merely with a particular society or during a specific time. Yeah, but there's another thing that I heard today as well, is that it apparently, I say apparently a lot because I don't know how true it is. It uses they, them, whatever they are. They choose certain bloodlines. So depending what bloodline you've got, that's me on the chair banging into him, I think. I don't know. Depending what bloodline you've got, it depends whether it comes after you, because a lot of people that have had Hatman encounters it's been not hereditary, but you know what I mean, that sort of thing. Hi everyone who's just come in. Is that the same as the old hag? I'm not sure, because with the old hag, apparently, if you witness seeing the old hag, whether you hear her or see her, that's supposed to bring death to you or very close family. So yeah, I don't really want to see one of them. I hope there's nothing behind me, because there's only me in this room, and I'm not putting my hand through the gap between the curtains and bars and getting dragged through it. Not a chance. So no. But yeah, the old hag isn't a good thing to be seeing. But speaking of things that you're not supposed to see, I was driving to my first job this morning. I seen a white bird fly across in front of the van, and then was going down the road alongside me. First, I thought it was a big pigeon. As it slowed down, I got closer to it. It was a snowy owl. So, please tell me you seen that one go from there and up, and then vanish about there. Right. Let me turn the fan off, because there was an hour before I put the fan on. I used to go to school with Janine, so welcome. Thanks for joining. Right. Where was it up to? Right, so I think there's been about 4 or 5 orbs now. Might be dust. I don't know. We'll see. I said I've turned the fan off. Let's see what happens. No break tonight, so I'm only going to do this for about an hour. Could be. Yeah, but it's only little. That's why I thought it was a pigeon at first, because it was probably about as big as that gargoyle. Oh, probably a bit bigger than that. Probably about that big. About a foot. Evening, everyone. Yeah, the other bits that I've got on there is about the ADS. Oh, wait. Yeah, it was 18 people, 18 young lads from the Philippines that died in the sleep for no reason. They couldn't find any evidence or trace as to why they died. So, yeah. Any questions from anyone about anything? Oh, quick update on February. We are definitely doing these 4 Fridays. They're going to be 2.5 hours long. And I have to watch 29 episodes at an hour long to do all my research. So probably nearer 40 hours. And then I have to remember it all. That's the best bet. Nothing on Prime yet. I know there's making some props and what have you to go with all the recording that we'd done. I know that they're also adding some, not actual footage, but footage of the things that we were talking about. Yeah. Or the footage of the topics we were talking about, and it's all going to be put in. And then they're gonna have the person who's hosting it, so everything just fits into it itself. So, and that's it. I know it's coming out. Well, they said May, 22nd of May, 25th of May, somewhere in May. So not that far away now. And hopefully we'll do second season next year. They've told us we are. It's just waiting. How are you doing a running through the wood scene? Not today, but I can do. Oh, that's a good question, Jax. So Jax has put, do you think these beings can be created by a collective belief like Slenderman, etc.? Yes, I do. I think like when we had Steve Mayer on a couple of months back, he said the same thing. I wasn't quite convinced until he was talking about it, But if enough people are thinking of something, he said there's like 3 or 5 guys were trying to manifest the UFO, and it happened. He said it could have been coincidence, but it did happen. If enough people have, if there's enough of you thinking of the same thing, then I believe you can manifest it with the energy that you have between you, because everything's made up of energy. Slender Man, I'm not sure, because there's not really been any. I've not seen any evidence anywhere. I don't mean I've been going out looking for it, but I do look wherever I go about anything, see if there's anything about. But there's only that one video where that lad, he's got a new mountain bike, a racing bike or something, and he's driving up and down the road. We talked about this last week. It's a bit, I think it's like a bit misty. The fog, you can see fog in the fields and that, where the trees are at the back of him. But you see the Slender Man come out, and it kind of, when it's it just, so say there's a tree there and there, and there's bushes and whatever. So there's a tree there and there. You don't see anything. I've watched it about 100 times. You don't see anything moving between the two trees. Then all of a sudden, it'll appear about an inch away from the tree. And then it's just there. So straight away, to me, that's CGI. And then you see him walking, but it's like he's walking on the spot, and then it glitches and then starts walking like, and does that kind of like a bouncy walk, like the guy off the Soft Mints advert. That's how it reminds me of. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the comments as well. No, they've got to have ketchup on. No ketchup. I did run fast once, didn't enjoy it. Yeah, see, the thing with the rake, there's been a lot of sightings of that. There's been loads of sightings. There's one of, this was in America as well. There's a guy who's looking out of his apartment block. There's something, it'd been raining or something, and he's looking out, and he had to go and get something from his car or his van. And he'd gone, he was looking out. I don't know if he'd seen it from his window or he'd gone down and seen it. It's like a plastic bag was stuck on the like twigs or something on these bushes. So he'd gone down, and as he'd gone down to get whatever he was getting out of his car, this bag started changing shape and morphing, and apparently it turned into something like the rake. Yeah, he ran around the other side of his car, waited for this thing to move, then legged it back into his apartment and locked the doors. So, don't know, is that real? Right, I've not frozen, just Siren Head. Yeah. Or Blue Meanies. They'll be next. So, do any of you guys believe that if we think of something enough, that it becomes real? Yeah, but Slender Man, if he's got these certain abilities, but he doesn't exist, it's all Photoshop. You can tell it's Photoshopped. Even if I can tell, it's definitely Photoshopped, and everything looks real to me. But I've got another encounter for you that I've completely forgot to tell you, and it's on the very, very first video that I ever did. So when I went over to Shropshire, we sorry, Georgie sent me a picture. I'll have a look at that in a minute. We went, it was me and Ellen, and we went walking along an old train line, pitch black, throwing it down. Could see about 20, 30 foot in front of you. eventually the rain stopped, and there's like trees falling on the track and that. And we're walking along. There's a few like buildings and lakes, and crosses over roads and goes under roads like a train line would. It was used from the old coal mine. And as we're walking along, I just seen something. I don't know where it come from, and it just flew straight in front of us. And it must have been 1 second. From what I could see, we've even got props. Yeah, not long enough, but whatever it was roughly about that long, but was flying away from me. So it's going like that. Now you could see it had 4 big wings on its back, and its back legs looked like they'd been crossed over. So it's like it was doing like a dolphin. Where dolphins swim at the surface of the water, and they're doing that. That's how this thing was flying. Yeah, but it looked. It's very weird. It looked like it had like legs. The legs looked like long fingers, but they looked like they was made out of sticks. So whether was it a little person, a fairy, or whatever, don't know. Didn't get it on video because I wasn't recording at the time. So I'm just reading the comments. But yeah, this thing, and I was just watching it, and as soon as I got in, well, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning that I got in. Researching stick insects, giant stick insects. I wasn't sure if we had them. I know we do have them in the UK, but they're not native to us. And can giant stick insects fly? That was a difficult one. And apparently they can, but they only have little wings. Now this thing had wings, the same size as a starling, so bigger than a sparrow, but not quite as big as a crow. So what this thing was, and it just, because it was so dark, I couldn't see where it had gone or anything. So there's nothing. Oh, sorry, just got loads of crap coming up on my phone. Sorry, I keep aiming a lot, losing me thought pattern. Yeah, so this thing, like I said, it was flowing away from us. Alan didn't see it. He seen something, but he couldn't work out what it was. But I seen this thing. It must have been about 8 inches long, but it was like the legs, like a pair of legs at the back of it, and there's crossed over, like between the knee and the ankle. It could have been an insect or some sort of flying mammal. I don't know. Not got a clue. Joe sent me a picture, but no, that's definitely photoshopped. It's like a tall woman with 3 kids round her, and she's got appendages coming off her arms. So I don't think that's real. No, sorry, Joe. What I'll do, I'll post it on Facebook and let you guys see. Unless you want to post it up, Joe, you can do. Rod, am I missing something here? Right, that was another orb, and that came from Danger Mouse and straight up, and it vanished there. Oh, the flying, yeah, the thingy ones look like that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Could have been one of them, but I was seeing it from the back. Like I said, it's flying away from me, like direct eye line. So I don't know. Didn't get any photos, no video, nothing. And I've looked online, and the nearest thing I can get to it is the giant stick insect. But who was it that we interviewed, and he had them flying rods? I can't remember his name. One of you guys might know. Right, we're halfway through. Pretend we're having a break. Caves. What come out of caves? The rods or stick insects? Don't know what you mean. Can't even pause this or anything. You'd think you'd be able to, wouldn't you? Ah, rods come out of caves. Right, thank you. Sorry. Right, anyone else got any questions? Anyone? Anything? It's so weird just being sat here on my own, though. Did you work out or what? Did you work out our call thing? Right, 3 questions there. Firstly, when I spoke to you, I can't remember what the call thing. Oh, right. So I have 2 SIM cards. No, I'm not a drug dealer before anyone asks. One that I had for codes and my personal number. So on Monday, because I've got the codes number linked to WhatsApp and I can have 2 WhatsApp accounts on my phone. So I thought having 2 SIM cards in your phone, it just drains the battery. So I took it out. All right, this is for Joe. And it's been on here since. Not touched. I left it there so I could see it and know where it is. So I rang Jo anyway, my signal went. And then she's trying to phone me back. And it went onto the code's answer phone, which would only work if that SIM card was in my phone. And it isn't. So that one's on Vodafone. My contract's on free. I don't have answer phone activated. Sorry, excuse me. I don't have the answer phone activated on my free number because I can't be bothered with it. And I only had it on there if anyone wanted to leave a message about any encounters that they had. Anyway, Joe tried ringing me back and it went onto that answer phone. Even though it can, it impossible, you can't connect to it. You just can't do it without the SIM card being in it. And the only way that I've got, 1 second. So I don't know if you can see at the bottom. You can see I've got 2 there and there, each side of Spotify. I've got the 2 WhatsApp groups. No, I was out in the van. It wasn't Wi-Fi. It was just 1 SIM card, and the SIM card it went through. There's another Rob there. That's strange because if I do that, nothing comes flying about. You decide. Do you know what? I think my whole phone is cock and balls. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 pages of it. I'll change that after. Yes, Larson. As near to 10 o'clock as I can. So, will do. Right. The other question was from Janine. Right. What's been your scariest encounter? The one that made me scream like a girl was about what we know, 2022. I reckon about 2000 and it could be him. I never had him as a teacher, so it was all right. Not even a farm teacher. I had Mr. Price and Mr. Bohemian. But anyway, so scariest encounter was probably around about 2013 time, so about 9 years ago. when all that stuff was going on in the house in Milton Keynes, I said I was stood kind of like in the corner between the 2 bedroom doors, looking along the landing towards the bathroom. And as I'm stood there coming out of the box room, and my bedroom was to the right, shadow just walked diagonally from my bedroom door to the toilet door. There's 4 other people there that witnessed it, and it walked straight across. And when I'm showing you that it was this close, it was that I had to move back and breathe in because I was scared of touching it in case something happened. If I'd have had my that's daft. If I'd have had my hands on my shoulders like that and like pointed out, or even took my elbows in and did that, I would have touched whatever it was that was walking past. It was about, I'd say, no taller than 5 foot. It looked like an old, I call it the widow, because it looked like a little old woman, completely dressed in black with a black veil over the face. Black, you could tell it was a person. There was like shuffling as they're walking across the floor. No noise was coming from it. Could see the arms, didn't look at me, and just went straight across. And as soon as he got to the bathroom door, he went, and I was stood there. I wasn't screaming. I was shouting other people in the house to come up and have a look. And it was just straight across like that. And I think I was more scared because I didn't know what was going on. Because I was just having a normal day. And then all of a sudden, this thing just walked straight out in front of me. And it was so weird. Yeah, that was one of the creepy things. And another thing that happened, the very first thing that ever started in that house, where I was stood. So when I was in the bedroom, you sleep with the bedroom doors open, and where the bed was, you could see straight out. Like the bedroom door was there, and then the box room door, you had like the mini clothes areas. We used to use it as like a mini wardrobe for hanging jumpers and hoodies and all that kind of stuff on. And this, I'll have to use my prop again. So imagine this has got a cardigan on it. Right, if it was someone walking past, it'd be like that and swaying and slowing down. So imagine this has got a black cardigan on. It's like that, and it just went, swung out, stayed there for about 3-4 seconds, then swung back and stopped. Didn't sway. You could tell it was moved purposely for that reason. So, I was around there today in Kempston. Go there quite a lot. Yeah, I don't miss Milton Keynes. It's not the greatest place to be. I was all around Milton Keynes yesterday. But yeah, so that was the cardigan was the worst thing that ever happened. That was the first thing that happened, but when the widow walked past, that was the creepiest thing ever. I know a couple of people that live behind Lidl. That's creepy as well. Right. There is a question from Nickname. Oh no, there's one more, sorry, because I had 3. Oh, from Umbra. Have you done any more pendulum work? I started to, and then I kind of got fobbed off because I was doing some pendulum work. My head wasn't really in it. I had a few things going on at home, and I wasn't getting nothing. There's no one there. I wasn't getting not even any other spirit guide talking to me. It was just I was holding the pendulum, nothing. I was there for about half an hour. I thought, you know what, I'll give up. I'll just come back later and try it then. So yeah, I did do about 10 minutes on either Saturday or Sunday, and it did move, and it said it was that Geno. I asked if I could speak to a couple of people that had passed, and it told me no, not yet. So Just have to wait, see what happens. Right, next question. I don't really know the roads. I know where Lidl is because I've been in there a couple of times. Do you think giant eagles, owls, bats could be mistaken for winged humanoids? Yes. I was watching a TV show on Blaze on Monday night, I think it was. And so I was just reading what Joe put, and they're saying about these eagles. No, there's one. It's Summit Vulture. It's like a king vulture. It's not that, but it's like bigger than normal. And it'd pick this kid up, and it'd lifted him about a foot off the floor, but couldn't get any higher because of the weight of it. And they're saying about all these thunderbirds and everything else. So I do believe a lot of them can be mistaken. But you get like giant owls, and if you look at the pictures, there's a picture doing the rounds again of these baby barn owls up in someone's loft. If you go up there, if you go up, if you look at the picture, imagine you've gone up there to look at something. They could look like Graylians. So I'm no doubt a lot of you will have seen this picture. I think there's 2 or 3 of them just stood there, and they just look like little, like tiny, weird-looking humanoids. So I do think that they can be mistaken because people do exaggerate on their encounters, especially when you don't know what's going on and you're taken in by it. That everything's happening, your head's not with it. You don't know really what's happening to you at the time. That's the one, Joe. Give me a minute. Just let me. Oh, I'll get it on my phone. I'll point at the camera. Oh, I'm trying to do it without. Let me turn the light off for a sec. In fact, I'll leave the light off because it's doing me head in. Can't quite make it out because you're getting the reflection, but you can wait, there we go. You get what I'm trying to say, though. There, that's it. Oh, they're baby barn owls. Now, if you seen them stood there like that, yeah, you wouldn't think that your first thought wouldn't be, that's an owl. I know mine wouldn't be. I forgot what I was saying. Don't know. Let me go back. Anyone out there? Completely forgot what I said. Oh, yeah, about that. Yeah, so these Thunderbirds. So they picked this kid up, but the weight of it, they couldn't pick it up anymore. So the mum, he was screaming. The mum ran out, and they managed to get it and shake it off. But they've been seen taking small goats and dogs and cats and all sorts. So there's a lot. They were talking about the owl man as well. A lot of it goes down to Cornwall. There's loads of reports in Cornwall. Can't remember the name of the place, but these go back to like the early 1900s. So it wasn't. I just thought it was that one in the, was it 96, 95, 96? That family gone on holiday, but it weren't that. It goes back so far. This owl-like creature. But then don't forget, we used to have giant sloths and we got giant squids and all that kind of stuff. So why can't we have giant anything else? Can't we have giant owls? Has an eagle ever picked up a kid? Yeah, there's a video of one. I think this is in America as well. It picks a kid up, takes it about 4 foot in the air, but then starts coming back down because of the weight of it and ends up dropping the kid. But if you watch any of these nature programs, like with David Attenborough and that, you'll see these not just eagles, but any of the big birds of prey, they'll come down and grab these goats off the side of the cliff edges and mountains. There's loads of stuff, and they just take off with them. Oh, there's one they were saying about, I can't remember, these monkeys, like small chimps. I cannot remember the name of this breed of monkey, these species. But they was examining, like they found all these skulls at the bottom of this tree where these birds nest, and you can see the claws have gone in, and where they've ripped the eyes out, these loads of scratch marks in the back of the eye socket where the bone is. All weird stuff like, well, it's not weird, but it's natural. So these come in, they get these monkeys and feed on them. There's like hundreds of skulls found at the bottom of these trees because that's what they've been going, getting, and eating. So it's all to do with the weight of the bird and the weight of the prey. So it is possible. And if something's hungry and it sees something moving about, it's going to go for it. Human nature. If that's been looking for food, say that bird's been looking for food for like 4 or 5 days, and it sees a kid, that doesn't know it's a kid. It just thinks, oh, there's my next meal. I'm going to go and get it. So how many kids have been taken that we don't know of? So yeah, very strange. An African crowned eagle was recorded taking a 6-year-old child. The skull of another child was found in the nest. That was the next bit. They actually found the skull of a kid in one of these nests, and they reckon he was between 4 and 6 years old. It could be the same story. The New Guinea harpy eagle and Australian wedge-tailed eagle are both said to have taken babies. The 24th of November 2017. So depending on the size of the bird and the size of the kid, yeah, it is possible. So yeah, I do believe it. And I also know that prehistoric animals exist because I've seen one. But I'll talk about that another time. So any more questions? Because there's like 12 minutes left. Anyone got anything? While I'm waiting, we have Terry. Someone called Terry on Friday. Terry Lynch-Keel. She's one of the MUFON chief. Oh, I can't remember. She does what Earl Grey does. So she's on Friday. Then the following Friday, we've got Costa. Then nothing the Friday after that because we're going out. Then hopefully the following Wednesday should be Dan Baldwin and George Sewell. But I've not heard back from him yet, so I don't know. And the update on, so the two that we had on the other week when everything was running late, Wes G. Roberts. So I got an email off him today saying that they both really enjoyed it. Apologise for taking long to getting back to you. It's been busy working, blah, blah, blah. He can't do anything until January, so I've sent him a couple of dates in January and hopefully I'll hear something back by weekend. So I'll get him booked in. Yeah, she's MUFON chief. It's chief something, I can't remember. And without looking at her Facebook picture, I'm not going to be able to tell you. But if you bear with me, I'm going to have a look. And then I'll answer the next 2 questions. Right. So she is board of directors at MUFON, Mutual UFO Network. She's SD, CI, SSD, FI, Star Team, MUFON Director of Membership, Clergy, and Demonologist. So there you go. If you get a very specific answer, you've only yourself to blame. I don't really that too. Right, what is your new toy going to be? At the moment, it's this. So it's not bad. It's only 8 gig, but you get 145 hours voice data on it, and it is very, very clear. So let's see if we pick anything up. Saying yes, I've read that. What the picture? Right, got you. Don't have any ties, not allowed. Break them. Yes, I've seen a UFO. Seen a few. One of the first encounters I ever remember having was of a UFO. I was about 6 years old. I was riding about on my bike on the estate I grew up on. Saturday afternoon, it had been raining, and I'd gone down to the next street on the corner. For some reason, I just stopped, looked straight up, and watched this UFO. I don't know how long I'd been watching it for. It could have been 2 minutes, it could have been 2 hours. The rule of growing up in the 70s in Manchester was start throwing it down, you come in. It goes dark, you come in. You hear me shouting you for your tea, you come in. You hear me shouting you to come in, you come in. That was it. There was nothing else other than that. So none of my mates were out. They weren't allowed out because it had been raining. I literally just sat staring straight up, watching it. And it wasn't until my neck started hurting. It's like back in, when you stay in one place and it starts aching. So I put my neck down, stretched it a bit, looked back up, gone. No buzzing noise, no smells, didn't notice anyone else about. No, there's virtually no cars on the estate anyway. It wasn't a cut through. You come on the estate to go to a certain house, a certain street. It's not like you go on it to cut through to come out the other end, because you can't do that on there. You can, but it's pointless. It ends up longer. So that was the first one. That was in, I was 10, so about 1980, 1981. And the next one, or the next significant one, was one that I seen. I was driving from Bolton down the East Lancs, going in towards Manchester, and just it's clear sky. Friday afternoon. There's about between 2 and 3 o'clock, like a silver object in the sky, probably roughly about 2.5 miles away. It just did a bright blue line across the sky. I say, I don't know if you can see, like the colour blue under the desk, like an electric blue colour. Did a bright blue line across the sky, stopped, it all lit up red. The UFO went through what I believe is a portal, and then it all just closed in on itself. And that was it. And I had to pull over because I thought I was going to throw up. And that was about 1997, 98. So I was in my mid to late 20s. Yeah, mid 20s. So yeah, and that was the freakiest one I've seen. And I've had a few more other than that. Your portal account, could it be a cloak ship that a smaller ship went into? No, I don't believe it. I believe it opened a portal, but then it was when we had Jodie Cook on and that was only this year that I realised it could be a portal. And that, like I said, that was 1997. So it was, what, 25 years ago? And it's took me that long to realise it could be a portal. But then with nicknames saying it could have been a cloaked ship that a smaller ship went into, with it being the blue line and something lit up red, something open to let this smaller craft into, and then it all closed. It could have been a cloaked ship. I don't know what it was. I just know there's this object in the sky, did two bright primary colours. It then all closed and didn't see it again. So that was it. Do you think you'll try and learn remote viewing? I want to. I also want to read that CE5 book, but that's not happening anytime soon. It's more psychokinesis. Is that what you call it? it's the thing, like the thinking pattern, or thinking at what somebody else is thinking of. Remote viewing is more not. It's not the same, but I'm going to use it like astral projection. So to me, they are slightly different, but it's on the same thing. I would like to learn remote viewing. You can do it online. You can. It's still on. Sounds stupid, but it's on Groupon. You can get it for like $19 instead of $80. So yeah, right. Have you ever been scratched by an entity? Not that I know of. I've never, other than being like prodded or top pulled or anything like that. Nothing. No scratches, no marks, no bruises. I've had bruises on my arms. I don't know where they've come from. I'm just guessing I've banged my arm in the night on the unit or side of the bed or something. Don't know, but nothing. Never had like scratches, and it's usually the free claw lines, isn't it? So I don't know, but no. If so, why and what do you think it wants you to know, discover? Right, Umbra, can you specify on that? Because I don't really know what you mean. Have I missed something on here? Yes, we should have started clubbing school. Yeah, I imagine though. Everyone think we're not as more than what I was. Was when you were talking before. I've been talking about a lot, Joe. I don't know. But yeah, with this Renan gang, I remember that. Yeah, should I? Do you know? I've only been doing this at this level for like 2 years. I wish I'd have done it like 20 odd years ago. Really do. But didn't know. No, when I started it, I didn't even know what I was doing. Don't even know if I know what I'm doing now. So no idea. Right. Hi, Chris, Mr. Eric. Eric's put, what's your view on strange synchronicity? Um, so do you mean like when people think the same thing at the same time, stuff like that? If that's what you mean, Chris, I believe there's a connection between you and that other person. Because me and Becky do it all the time. We'll be talking about something, and I mean it could be absolutely anything, nothing to do with what happens next. And then we both start singing the same. I won't say same. We both start making the same words up to a specific tune, and I reckon we do that on a daily basis. Yeah, right. Sorry, a message just popped up then. So, say we're talking about walking to the shop, like, should we walk or should we drive? There's two shops near us. One's it's a bit of a pain. It's easy to drive there, and the other one's easier to walk. But the one nearer shuts earlier, so it depends where we're going. Anyway, get rid of that boring bit. So, say we're talking about walking to the shop, and then we both will just start singing. Words that we're making up to a certain song, and it happens every single time. Well, not every time, but I'd say 90% of the time. That happens a lot. And then when Joe and Nick did the takeover last week, and there was a picture, and we had to channel into what it was. And I drew a tower. Deb drew a tower. But I thought I'm not going to leave it blank because it might look like I've cheated. So I wrote Blackpool Tower at the top, and Deb had already done hers, and she wrote Blackpool Tower on hers. But because we do a lot of hosting and that together, I think that we've got a good connection there, and that's why we picked it up. But I was saying to Joel today, when I first started drawing what I drew, I just got a pen and just started drawing it down. Still got it. can see it. So I just started drawing. I didn't have the top bit on. I just started drawing like the stilty bits, the sides. Looks like the letter A with a heart on it. And I just started drawing that, and I thought, oh, I better put a name on it. And I was thinking something like the Gherkin or the Shard, some like one that in London. But for some reason, I just went with Blackpool Town. I should have stuck with what I was thinking originally. At least it'd have been less than half a mile away, not 300 miles away. But with that, I need to do something like that again live. But I need to concentrate more and just focus, I think, more than anything. But that's a Picasso I'll have, When I'm famous, I'll sign it and auction it off. Buy a pair of shoes. Right, Joe, the next question says, question from my son, how do an entity move things without hands? I don't know where he sent that question. Let us know who sent it. Sorry, just reading some of the comments. Thought process. Everything's made up of energy. So if you can home in or tune into how to move something without touching it. Your son. Right, I just thought you copied and pasted it, Joe. Sorry. It's like, don't know. This on here. If you can concentrate enough and learn how to do it, you can move it. A lot Shaolin monks know how to do it. There's one of the Shaolin monks that can do. I've spoke about this before. Is a TV show back in the early thousands called Mind, Body, and Kick-Ass Moves. And this guy used to go around. He was black belt and like full martial arts, everything you can think of. But he'd go and he'd learn new ways of doing them. And he went to see one guy. The guy must have been in his 70s. And he'd beat on a drum or shout, but not loud. And it was just the energy that was coming out of his mouth. And he'd be putting people on the floor. And like people like big guys, twice, 3 times the size of him, and he'd just drop them like they were nothing. And that was, I suppose it's like infrasound, presume. So yeah, it's all to do with how you focus that energy for how you can move stuff without actually touching it. Because it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's alive, inanimate, it was alive, it's now dead. Everything is made up of energy. So anything can be moved. It's just knowing how to do it. That's what I believe, anyway. Any more? Because we've come up to the hour now, and I'm going to have to end it soon because I'm up at stupid o'clock yet again. You are definitely Umbra. He's put his more cheese energy. I'd say Baby Bell, but we won't go any further than that. So thank you everyone for coming on. Sorry, I don't know. It's been different than how we normally do it. Just StreamYard has gone down and they won't, for some reason, it's not linking YouTube. So I thought I'd just do YouTube live, do it this way. Right, sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Yes, I do. I'm actually dressed like I should be on the beach. I've got flip-flops on, pair of grey cottony shorts, a nice pale blue hoodie. So, and it's absolutely throwing it down outside. Just good that you don't see from there down, for everyone's sake. So, right. Thank you all. Don't forget, we should be back on Friday with Terry. 1 second. I'm watching your show, but I can't join in. No. Right, it's my cousin. It's alright, he's dying. He'll be alright. It's his own fault for going out and getting wrecked over the weekend. He went to a place in Manchester at Trafford Park called Bowlers, and there's some reunited set up gig that he was having at the weekend. So he's still ill. That was on Saturday. We're now going into Thursday. It's his own fault. He still thinks he's 20. He's nearly 50. He can't do it. Yeah, so thank you everybody for joining the chat. Thank you all the newcomers for joining in. People I know, people I don't know. I will see you 7:30 on Friday. Quickly before I do go, one last update. I did say possibly be opening another Facebook group just for posting when we're doing live streams or any updates on anything that we're doing, any investigations and that. Don't need to do it now. I have give me the option the other day to make my Facebook profile professional, so I can go into that and create events. So everything straight on my Facebook. So yeah, all information will still be on there, that and the website. So that's it. So see you all on Friday. Thank you, Joe, for modding and sending the messages through. Thanks again for everyone that come on and asking questions. Even those that didn't ask questions, it's been great. It's been different. It's the first time I've done it on my own. So yeah, that's it. I will see you all next week. Have a great 48 hours. Not next week, Friday. Have a great 48 hours and see you then. Have fun and good night.